Yes, dear students, now we shall discuss about 8th standard social science. In history, the first lesson, that is very important lesson for history students, none other than that is the sources. Dear students, sources are very useful for writing or any written document. On the basis of sources, historians had been kept their language, anything else, that event, that matter is known as history. What happened in the past event kept in the written form, that is known as history, isn't it? So already you know that. So without the sources, there is no written formation, there is no evidence. So sources are main evidence to the historians. So we shall discuss about the sources in this chapter. See, these are all the sources. See, next one by one discuss it, next part. Okay, see this. First of all, sources can be divided into two types. One is written sources, another one is archaeological sources. So in this day we shall discuss about the archaeological sources. In these archaeological sources, the inscriptions are concerned. There are three types: inscriptions, coins, monuments, other ruins. And last point to remember, last trivia. So these are the main objectives of in this class. Archaeological sources. See, archaeological sources are divided into four kinds. Already I have told you that there are four kinds. Which are those? See, inscriptions. Second one, coins, monuments, and other ruins. See, what are the inscriptions? See, what are the map? What was the matter kept on the stones or rock? See the picture, inscription, example, coins. What are the coins? Introduced by the great empire on those days. And monuments. See, these are all the monuments, any temple, Golgumbas, whatever. Like last one, other ruins. What are the historical things? They are also other ruins. These are all the sources of written history. Archaeological sources are available not only on the surface of the earth but also hidden deep in the depths of the earth. Archaeological sources are not only available on the earth's face, not available on the earth place. They are all hidden in the earth. See, depths of the earth. So these are all available in the depths of the earth. These are all also what is in the depths of the earth. The hidden things in the earth are dug out by using scientific methods. This process is called as excavation. What is excavation? Dear students, concentrate this question. What is excavation? You have to learn and keep in your mind. Excavation means the hidden things were in the earth. So these are things in the earth are dug out and get from the earth depth place by using scientific method, whatever method. So what were the things brought discovered. So these are the things were helpful to written history. What are found during excavation? During the excavation time, what are the things were available on those days? So they are all called things of excavation. What are those? During excavation, there are so many things were appeared by the dug out by the scientific method or excavation. See the first one, the ruins of buildings. They were in the depth or surface, ruining buildings and inscriptions on the rocks or any stones. Next, coins. See, these are the coins introduced by the great empire during their time. See, the terracotta pieces, the literary pieces broken out by those time, terracotta pieces and bangles. See, and beads and gold pieces and metal and other have been found. Metal last one. See, so the moon pieces, what type was in the earth surface? See, the moon pieces. Okay, so the beads also is there and seeds also is there and bangles also here. So these are all the picture of archaeological sources in the through the God excavation. Next one, the inscriptions. In the archaeological sources, the main sources were inscription. See, inscriptions mean engraved writing. Inscription are written on stone or rock. Already I have told that. What happened during their time? They have written on stone or rock. On stone or rock. See, the metal ivory, a terracotta and other materials that last longer. So inscriptions are more reliable as these have a direct relationship than events. So these inscription main evidence. They have direct relation to the events. Direct relationship with the events. So see the stone or rock inscription written on them and yet the metal, that was metal written on it, and ivory, see last one, that is the ivory written on it, and the terracotta pieces, see these are the terracotta pieces already have been kept, whatever the event on those days, and the other metals, last one metals. So the written on the some metals. So these are all very reliable to the historians to write down anything exact events. They have the direct relationship with them, the events. So for example, what are the inscriptions? For the example, see the Ashoka's inscription are the earliest inscriptions. The Ashoka's inscription was the earlier inscriptions found in India. The Tadagunda inscription also available in Canada. So most of these inscriptions are in Brahmi script. These are all available on those days in the form of Brahmi script. And their language is Prakrit. Their language is Prakrit, but script is in the form of Brahmi script. So Ashoka's period written in the style of Brahmi script in the language of Prakrit during their time. That was also very important inscriptions. See, which are the other inscriptions that portray the military achievements of then rulers? So what are the helpful to the rulers on those days? Which are the inscriptions founded or established? See here, the Samudragupta, very important inscription, Allahabad pillar inscriptions. See the Allahabad pillar inscription. inscription, and Imadi Purkesi, Aihole inscription, see, and Karavelos, Hatigumpa inscription, see here, and other inscription portray the military achievements of the rulers. See, the kings, they have written in their inscriptions their achievements in the military side. So, they are all explained on that. The Uttara Nehru inscription also very important. It had been narrated the rural administration of Chola kingdoms. See, that was the Uttara Nehru inscription. It narrated what the rural administration of Chola king, how the Chola king led their live and spend their time, look after the administration, what I explained on that Nehru inscriptions. Next one, second one, archaeological sources. One is inscription, second one is very important, coins. See, the coins are also small in shape, already know that, and they contain many important aspects during those times, important content. See, they are helpful in understanding the geographical extent of the rulers' kingdom who minted the coins. So, these are all printed or minted by the rulers during their time. So, they have, these are explained what type of their ruling on those days. Their kingdom also who minted the coins. So it explains these coins are explained geographical extent of the ruler's kingdom who minted the coins. They also aid us in knowing the language of administration. So these coins are helpful to knowing the language of administration. What the language established by the rulers on those times. These are also helpful to know. Next, the title the kings possessed their religion, economic condition of that time. On their time, what type of economic possessed and economic conditions and religion condition and what type of religion exists, what religion exists. So everything also can be understood by the coins. So metal technology in lieu of the particular kingdoms. So they use metal also for the minted of coins. Samudragupta had minted 7 different types of gold coins. See, beautiful. The Samudragupta minted 7 types of gold coins. So he became very popular during that time. See the picture of Samudragupta and his warrior. On the basis of pictures on those coins, it is said that Samudragupta was a lover of music. See the picture of Samudragupta. He had the music instrument. So the music instrument indicated he was the lover of music, and also he conducted some Ashwamedha Yaga. So Ashwamedha also minted on the coin, see both sides, and love and affection to the music. So it is also indicated. That's why Samudragupta was the lover of music and also conducted Ashwamedha Yaga by the understanding of coins minted by him. Gautamiputra Shatakarni also got the name of Nahapana. See, it is erased on his coins. It is erased on his coins also, and engraved his name on that coins. Engraved his name also on that coins. His name. This supports the view that Gautamiputra had defeated Nahapana. So, Gautamiputra Shatakarna minted his name, his scriptures, what he written on his minted coin. So it is indicated during that time. Next, third one, by the archaeological sources, that was the monuments. See, the monuments are the major sources to write history. How the temples, ports, see that is the ports, and pillars, and also that was the monuments, temple, Gol Gumbaz, and like that other places, the pilgrimage places also, ruined by the some other kings or anything else. So these are all also monuments helpful to the written down to the historians. Mehruli's iron pillar, see that is the Mehruli's iron pillar, and Vijayapura's whispering Gol Gumbaz, that is Bijapur, and all the evidence of the maturity of their science and technology knowledge nowadays. See, they are all very, very important places built by them. So they were evidence of the science and technology knowledge nowadays. Shah Jahan built Taj Mahal, love and affection of Mumtaz, his wife. So, and Chittu's Vijayastambha also that was established for the factors of Victory Pillar, tells the victory of Rana Kumbha. So, it gives us the victory. The cave pictures, some cave pictures also available, and engravings also available. Some of Elephanta, Ellora, and Ajanta. So these are all the some picture of cave and engravings. So these are all helpful to these narrate the mastery over painting. Mastery over painting and sculpture during their time. See what a beautiful, fantastic painting and sculptures. So these are all Ellora, Ajanta, and Elephanta. So they are all narrate the great sculpture and painting during their time. See, science and technology helpful to that knowledge nowadays. The temples of Aivole, see, and Patatkalu. So explain the evolution of Indian temple architecture. So these are the very important evolutionary monuments. These monuments of Nalanda, see, and the architecture of Madras. So these are all built by Rahman. With that, narrate the importance given to education during this time. So they have given more importance to the education, explain these important monuments in Nalanda and the architecture of madrasas. The port of Srirangapatna, see, explain the accomplishment in the area of defense technology. See, that is the port protected them by the enemies. Last one, the other ruins. What are the other ruins? They were also archaeological sources. See, the based on the various pieces of terracotta, see, and bangles and beads and seal. Last one. So these are all procured during the examination. So one can understand the socio-cultural, economic, political and religious life of them people. So these are all the beads, seal, bangles and terracotta explained or narrated to us what is the socio-cultural, economic and everything fields, what type of existed during those time explained through these monuments or ruins. How can we find the accurate period of them? See, the applying carbon 14 dating procedure on the biological ruins, dead animals, birds, trees, and these sites. See, these are all one can arrive at the accurate period of the ruins. See, these are all ruins, animals and birds, dead bodies. Buddha Stupa came to light during excavation at Sanati in Yadagiri district and Rajaghat of Doddabalapura Taluk. See, these are all very, very important other ruined places. See, these are the Yadagiri and Doddabalapura. In the excavation conducted at Arikamedu and Pattanam, see, so in Tamil Nadu, a large number of evidence speak of commercial contact between South India and Romans. How the South Indian people, Rikamedo and Pattanam, they have wanted to the South India to the Romans explain. So, last one question. What is that? What is excavation? That is very important. The process by which hidden things in the earth are dug out using scientific method is called excavation. What are the depth? What are the things were in the depth dug out from the earth through the scientific method, that is known as excavation. Second one. Second one question, last. Which are the earliest inscription found in India? Say, the Ashoka's inscription are the earliest inscription found in India. That is very, very important for your examination. Yes, students? Okay, next I will come back with a new continued part of lesson. Thank you for watching my videos.